Prison stories, told by former inmates. The sound of that gate, it doesn't just close behind you, it seals off your old life. You stand there, holding a thin bag of state-issued clothes, staring at walls that look taller than your past mistakes. The air smells like bleach and rust, but mostly it smells like regret. Every sound echoes. Every guard step reminds you, you don't belong to yourself anymore. There's no sir or mister. Just a number. They shave your pride, strip your identity, and leave you with silence. That's the first lesson prison teaches. You are nobody now. They don't give you a manual when you walk in here, but there's a code. Speak less. Watch everything. Every stare means something. Every handshake hides a motive. You learn to read eyes, not words. A smile can get you stabbed. Kindness can make you pray. You sit in the cafeteria pretending to eat while scanning faces, memorizing who sits where, who controls what. The veterans don't warn you. They just watch, waiting to see if you'll make a mistake. In here, silence isn't weakness. It's survival. It happens faster than thought. A bump in the hallway. A word taken the wrong way. And suddenly, fists fly. You don't scream. You don't run. You fight or you fall. The air fills with noise, metal clanging, guards yelling. But inside, everything slows down. You see red. You feel the taste of iron in your mouth. Then it's over. Blood on the floor, guards dragging bodies apart. You're shaking, heart pounding, not from pain, but from realization. You just earned your place. In here, peace isn't given, it's earned through fear. Nights are the loudest part of prison, not because of the noise, but because of the thoughts. You lie there on a thin mattress, staring at the ceiling, listening to whispers, snores, and distant cries. The steel bars cast shadows that never move. You start counting them like they're days, but they don't add up to freedom. The cell becomes your mind, and your mind becomes a cell. Every sound, footsteps, keys, a cough down the hall, reminds you that you're trapped in a world that never sleeps. Some pray, some cry, some just stare into the dark until the sun bleeds through the bars again. The quiet doesn't comfort you here. It judges you. Money means nothing inside these walls, but everything still has a price. Cigarettes, soup packets, stamps, these are the new currency. You learned the system quick. A favor here, a trade there. A bar of soap can get you a haircut. A honey bun can buy protection. And a single wrong deal can get you a visit from people who don't talk twice. You move carefully, like walking on glass. The real economy isn't what you buy, it's what you owe. And the deeper you go, the harder it is to pay your way back. Some people hustle, others manipulate. But everyone's playing the same game just to make time move. You start to see patterns, how anger becomes armor and fear becomes routine. The toughest faces in the yard, they're just boys who never got to cry. You hear stories that could make concrete weep, men who lost everything before they ever got a chance. And somewhere between violence and silence, you learn empathy. You realize the system isn't built to fix, it's built to forget. Out there, people think prison changes you. In here, it reveals you. The man you pretend to be dies early, and what's left is the truth you can't escape. It starts with a whisper, then explodes like thunder. One tray thrown in the cafeteria, and suddenly the world turns red. Boots pounding, shouts echoing, smoke rising from burning scraps of uniforms. The walls shake with rage that's been building for years. You duck behind a table, heartbeat in your ears, louder than the chaos. The air smells of sweat, fear, and something metallic, freedom, just out of reach. The guards rush in with shields, batons swinging, commands lost in the storm. For a moment, the line between man and animal disappears. And when it's over, the silence is worse than the noise. You sit there, shaking, realizing, this is what hopelessness looks like when it catches fire. Days blend together until you find something that reminds you you're still human. A letter. Folded, smudged with fingerprints, it smells faintly of the outside world. You read it over and over until the words stop being ink and start being breath. Someone out there still cares. A mother, a child, a friend who never gave up. You write back even if you have nothing to say, just to feel like you exist beyond the bars. Those letters become your heartbeat. When the mail cart doesn't stop at your cell, your chest aches. But when it does, it's like the sun visits for a minute. In a place built to break you, hope always sneaks in through paper and pen. One morning, you catch your reflection in the cracked piece of metal they call a mirror. You don't recognize the face staring back, older, colder, but wiser. You see scars that weren't there before, eyes that have seen too much. But behind them, there's something else. A spark. The same one you had before the mistakes, before the walls. You start thinking, maybe time didn't just take things away. Maybe it carved you into someone new. You stop fighting the silence. You start listening to it. And for the first time in years, you breathe without feeling watched. The day they call your name, you don't believe it. You pack your things, a few photos, some folded letters, a heart heavier than your bag. The same gate that once swallowed you now opens. The air outside feels too soft. The sky too big. People walk by, without looking, free, unaware. You stand there for a long time, unsure which direction is forward. Freedom doesn't feel like joy. It feels like confusion. You realize the hardest part isn't surviving prison, it's surviving after it. Because once you've lived behind walls, you see them everywhere. But you also see something else, a second chance. And sometimes that's enough. These are the stories you never hear, told by those who lived them. Those who walked through the darkness and came out changed. Behind those walls were more than crimes, there were lessons. Lessons written in silence, in pain, in the unspoken language of survival. Some lost years. Some lost pieces of themselves. But all of them found something no system could teach. The truth about who they really were. The gate that once locked them in became the same gate that opened to a second chance. The violence, the fear, the isolation. They weren't just punishment. They were mirrors. Mirrors that showed the cost of choices and the quiet power of redemption. Every letter read in the dark. Every scar earned in silence. Every day survived. Became a chapter in a story that the world rarely wants to read. But these stories matter. Because they remind us that humanity doesn't end at a prison wall. It bends. It breaks. It rebuilds. And sometimes, the people who've seen the worst of the world are the ones who understand its value the most. These are not stories for pity. Not for sympathy. These are stories told for truth. So that maybe, just maybe, someone out there listens before they walk through that same gate. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.